Welcome back to the channel. This is Roberto Full Coil Precision again. Kind of going to do another visual of why I'm seeding out the bullets further and further and further the way I am and what made me decide on it. I just did a video. It's about 3 to 4 minutes long. Go check it out. I show how it feeds inside my standard 270 and why it's not going to be an issue when it comes to the new build. Once I get some tooling redone, we'll be able to get it all working fine. But let me show you one of the reasons why. These are the 4 longest bullets that are going to be part of this build. They're the heaviest and they're the longest. Let me turn the camera around. Okay. So you have on the left, you have the 175 grain Sierra Game Changer. You have a 170 grain Nosler ballistic tip, 170 grain Berger EOL, and that's a 165 Nosler AccuBond long range. Now, they're all really good, but I'm going to just kind of separate out these for a second, and then so I can demonstrate without knocking them over. There we go. So, if I take this bullet here, and I hold it up, let me put it right here, and I hold it right here, and I gently hold it up right about there, you can see that because I allowed it to seed out much further, I'm not really protruding down into the powder reservoir. Like a little bit past the neck is the boat tail, into the shoulder, and that's fine. That's not terrible, right? Because I'm seeding it out much further. Same thing if I take this Berger, and by the way, this is because of how it's designed with the really long ogive, it seats out the furthest. Same thing. I'm able to hold this up here where it's not even really protruding down past the base of the neck. That's ideal. There we go. Put those away for a second. That's ideal. I don't want the things to be protruding past the neck much, if at all, if I can avoid it. Again, this is the 170 grain ballistic tip. There you go. So just barely past the neck. And then the 175 grain, and I don't have the 180s on me, but look at that. Like right at the shoulder on a standard 270. Now, the shoulder is going to be different on mine, so it is going to protrude a little bit more. But, you know, imagine if it was set to like, instead of at the 3.5, it was set to like 3.34, it would be down around here. That's a problem. That's too deep. It needs to be extended out. And I use the Sierra, or I should say, not Sierras, the Bergers, if I can use my words right. And I show how it feeds in and out on the ramping on my Bergara B14, the one with the leather strap. And I did 4 rounds. They feed in and feed out just fine. And that's a factory rifle. That's nothing special. That's chambered in 270. And I did it to demonstrate the question is, can you do that on modern standard length actions? And the answer is yes. The hardware allows for it. It makes it simpler. Now, are all rifles going to do that? No. But the answer to that is not yet. It's not completely no. It's not completely no. It's not yet. Once they start seeing that there's a demand for it, companies will start paying attention. And so what I want to encourage is, don't be quick to poo-poo the idea of, oh, this is not going to work, blah, 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 blah. Go check out the video. It's only like 3.5 minutes long or something like that. And I show that if 4 fit inside that magazine, that hinge plate magazine, and feed in and feed out flawlessly at the 3.5255. Okay? That's significantly further. And it still feeds. So I don't think you really need to worry about this too much. More and more companies are going to this. The Savage Axis, I actually was looking to see, okay, is there a difference between a short action and a long action Savage Axis. All Savage Axis actions are the same. The only thing that changes is the bottom material and the stock. That's it. They all feed the same, and they enable that off of not just short action to long action. This includes magnums. So you can go buy a cheap, inexpensive rifle like a Savage Axis, restock it with an MDT field stock and one of their magazines that allows you to seat out to 3.56. It should, I think on the website it says 3.7, but they're measuring from the outside to outside. They're not measuring the inside. So it really wouldn't take much to convert to something like what I'm doing. What I spend, like $450 between stock and magazine. And then obviously you're going to have to rebarrel. But the thing is, you can buy an inexpensive rifle and just basically cannibalize it and utilize that action and simply swap the stock and the magazine and the barrel. And you're able to find that. Like, the nice part about something like the Savage Axis or the Ruger American actions is that there's a ton of aftermarket support for modification. As a matter of fact, for what I'm using a Ruger American Gen 1 action that was off of a rifle that was a 30-06. And so this allows you to go out, and if you're going to do a custom, you don't have to do an ultra expensive. So, here's the thing though. It's like, I've had the question, can you build this in an affordable rifle setup instead of having to go and completely restock it? And the answer is yes. And that's my Bergara B14 Ridge. That's like I spent about $900 on that rifle. I can reuse my action, my trigger, and my stock. All I have to do is find a barrel that fits inside the profile there, and that's a medium profile barrel. I've been looking at a few. Pacnor makes a really good barrel. I've asked several gunsmiths on them, and Pacnor is really good. They actually make a Contour that's basically a straight replacement for that. And so I can then just buy a barrel and then get it chambered and then get the dies. And the thing is, the nice part about it with what I'm doing, let me turn this back around. This is a basic Lee Precision die, okay? This is part of their Ultimate set, nothing fancy. But let me pull up one of the casings. There we go. This is one of the ones I've tried to fire form already. And again, we're retooling because I wanted the neck to be a little bit longer. It came out not quite as long as I was hoping for. That was my mistake. But here's the thing. The question is, do I need to have a reloading die for this? You just need the resizing die. Okay? It fits. If you already have a 270 reloading die, you don't need the full set. You just need the resizing die. So the best part about this is all you need is reamer, go no go gauges, and a resizing die, and you can convert. Let me pull this from basically from a standard 270 into something that's going to be similar to this. So the cool part about it is you can do, even your tooling is not going to be insanely expensive to be able to build this. And it's going to seat it out. And if you get something like a Bergara, actually specifically the Bergara B14 Ridge, and I'm sure it's going to apply to if you get like the Wilderness models or, the Sierra Wilderness models, you can just simply rebarrel them. And I'm going to go back through and I'm going to actually put some more of these duds together. And what I've been doing is I'm going to actually go down to one of my local shops and see if they'll let me just see if it'll feed in and out of some sort of used rifle that they have. But I know for a fact that this works in a Ruger American. I know for a fact that this works in a Bergara. Again, these are affordable rifles. Now, the question may come up, what if I want a Mauser style action? I haven't had the chance to measure those yet. But here's the thing. Again, more and more companies are going to longer openings on the bottom. So if you have a Mauser action, if you have a set of calipers, or even if you don't have a set of calipers, all you need is measuring tape. If you have something that has a Mauser action and it's fair, like the newer Mausers, not the older Mausers, and you were to take your stock off and you can measure from the hole, from the length of your hole in the bottom, see what size it is. You know what? Comment it down below. That'll help, because I'm trying to make it where it's accessible into numerous rifles, but I'm trying to see it past the 3.34 for everything, because I want it to be able to hold as much powder as it can without these long, heavy bullets protruding down into the case. And so there's two ways to accomplish that, and you mostly see it now with what they call the Creedmoor effect, which is they just shorten the case and shorten it, and then they just extend a little bit in the lands. But if you can, in using already existing actions, modify the case volume and then seat your bullet out further, that's also a very viable option. And the thing is, you don't need all sorts of custom stuff to do it. Here's a one. I know it'll work. The Weatherby 307 XP range. Or range XP, I should say. They use an MTT stock. I can't remember the exact submodel, but they use MDT stock and MDT magazine. It's a really good rifle. I had one 2 seasons ago and shot phenomenally well. The stock I'm using is MDT as well. It's a field stock. And so it should be a very simple conversion to be able to take one off of the other. And I'm going to approach that and see if it works, but it should. If it can work in a Bergara as a factory, swapping stocks is not going to be a difficulty. As a matter of fact, I would say that the field stock is better than the stock that is used on the Weatherby 307s. It's a lot more versatile. It's easier to adjust your comb height. Your length of pull is basically the same to adjust. But it has the fore end allows you to be able to attach like Picatinis and such. You can attach different, whatever, I can say attachments. I'm overusing the same word, but my brain, that's all it's allowing. So, but the point is, I'm building something that's going to be very versatile and usable. I did post the pictures of that rifle on here on YouTube. It's on my posts, so you can actually go to the channel, look through the posts, and you can find it. Yeah. So can you get a rifle and simply rebarrel it? Yes, as long as the existing magazine allows you to seat out to 3.5255, then yes, you can simply do that and rebarrel it. Do I recommend using a pencil barrel with this cartridge? No. I don't really think that pencil barrels are a great idea. If you want lightweight, I would recommend going with more of a carbon wrap barrel. The stiffness makes a big difference. Pencil barrels are just a pain to load for. So I'm personally using a much heavier barrel. We're also going to be tightening the specs on the chamber and the throat to make it really stupidly accurate. I even had the tooling engineer was looking at the numbers and was like, this is kind of competition grade that you're building, but for hunting. And I said, yes. And he goes, I'd love to see what this can do in a long-range competition, even out to a mile. And I'm like, that'd be cool with me. I don't have the funds for something like that because, the optics on something like that is insane. But I do plan on doing some longer-range shooting with this. like even out to 1,000. I don't have a massive scope right now because I'm trying to do this all on a budget. Proof of concept right now is more important to me than an ultra large scope. So there you go. That's what I have. And yes, it has. I keep knocking stuff down because I'm kind of a klutz. Anyway, yeah, I have a top turret on it. I don't have the windage on it, but it'll do the trick for what I want it to do. So again, to those who are subscribed, thank you. I appreciate the support. I'm always looking for feedback. If there's something you see that is worth mentioning, even if it makes me uncomfortable, just say it. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. I'm willing to take it, but because I know I'm not the only one that exists with a brain. And yeah. But I think this has a lot of potential. If it didn't, I don't feel like I would be even trying all this. So, again, I appreciate all the support. For those who are watching this, please like, subscribe, and share. Comment, hit the notification bell. I'm sure someday I'll have the hype button available. But until then, I appreciate everything y'all are doing. And we'll talk to you again.